he was the one that didn't like this, didn't want to be here, wanted to get out. So he was very happy to get out. And he hated Italy because he said, it's just like being in southern West Virginia. They have nothing. They live off the land. They have no, it's like you can't go to a restaurant because there are none to go to unless you travel to the city. They're all, and he's telling me all this stuff, and I'm thinking it would be wonderful. He's like, their idea of having an outing is during the harvest. They all get together on whoever the land they're harvesting and have this cookout for 3 days, and they all stay drunk and party and eat for 3 days after. I'm like, what's wrong with that? Like I said, his dad had been crushed in the mines and then passed away, and all the older brothers ran off to the military, and the sisters married. And here was this woman with no job, raising 3 kids on whatever disability.
That was my grandma's story, too.
Yeah, which was nothing. And when my dad turned 10, they had an old mule, and on the week he would go to school during the week, and then Friday after school he would get on the mule, ride it into Welch. Welch was a very booming town. Kennedy actually toured through Welch when he was running for presidency. That's how big it was. He would go to Welch in the back rooms where they were gambling, and at the age of 10 he started every weekend gambling. Come home Sunday night on the mule. He would come home Sunday night on the mule and give his mom his winnings that he had made that weekend to help support them. Until he moved, when he was 16, he moved to Cleveland, Ohio. He had a brother that had moved up there, and he made a whole new birth certificate to forge his age to be older so he could get on with Ford Motor Company. And when he was 16, he had changed his age to 18 to get on with Ford Motor Company, and that was his job his whole life. And he still gambled. Every vacation he had, he was in Vegas or Atlantic City. It was just in his blood after that. But that's how he helped support his family.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
No, they've found on Ancestry. We found my grandma's listed working in that train depot as a shopkeeper in 1930 census. My mother was born in 1929, but she wasn't listed on the census. So my grandma, for some reason, hid Mom's name. I didn't get that part. But that's what took me to Thurman.
Well, you have to look too now about that era. Okay, 1930s. What was going on in this country then, and Appalachian people and census people.
Not good. No bueno.
A lot of census people were shot and killed.
Anybody working for the government was, yeah.
Right, but especially the census people, because for whatever reason, and I don't understand the mentality behind it, I've never figured that out, but for whatever reason, the census people were much worse than anybody else, because they felt like the census people were there for other reasons than what they were for. There was a lot of them. This is still,
How far did we follow my bloodline back?
Back to the 1400s.
Back to the 1400s, and it was all...
Just on your dad's side.
Yeah.
On his dad's side, they did the ancestry.
Yeah.
And on his father's side, they can trace them back to the late 1400s being in the Appalachian Mountains.
Wow.
That's amazing.